Hello everyone, my name is Rafael Alejandro Vargas Blanco. I am from the group 28 of the course Materials Design. My tutor is Diana Constanza Cruz. And in this video, I am going to develop the task 1, the role of the materials designer. For numerous decades, the materials design was just used as a complement of a wide range of learning resources to illustrate methods. However, the things changed when the teacher noticed two issues. Those issues were, by one part, the growth of interest of methodologies and materials used for teaching, and the importance of the student's opinion to improve the teaching materials with the purpose to know the way that the learners learn better and what they need to learn in a new and globalized world. Developing materials demand from teachers many things. I am going to talk about 6 of them. It's necessary to keep a balance among students' language learning needs, their preferences, motivations, and expectations. This means that teacher needs to do a variety in his class or her class to manage a better environment with their students and make the process of learning as something more comfortable for them when they feel in a safe place and in a better class. This demands to improving of the self-esteem of the students. It's necessary that they feel comfortable in the environment that they are studying because the emotional part of a student is very fundamental in a better learning process. In this case, is very useful because learning a new language is something that requires very significant concentration in the topics of class. The teacher have to be helpful in sharing information. The teacher in class has to cooperate with each student learn. And this means that this is a possibility for the class to be an opportunity to learn, and the students find this learning enjoyable. By other way, is obligation of the teacher find a way to communicate better his knowledge to the students in the class and share the information to develop a better learning of a specific topic, or especially if it's learning of a second language. The teacher has the obligation to innovate their teaching practice. This means that they always have to reflect about the way that teaches to the students the knowledge and think if it is a good way to transmit that knowledge of the topic that is being worked in class, and always searching new ways to teach to the students, knowing that we are in a globalized world. A teacher has the obligation to of take and make teaching decisions. This means that in the last step of their demands, they identify a problem with their teaching methodology. This means that the teacher has to uh, take a decision about his teaching practices and select a way to teach that is more comfortable for the students and can mm, develop and obtain a more effective and wished results in the teaching. And the last important demand for the teacher is to give to their teaching opportunities for outcome feedback. This means that there is a space in the class to the opinion of the students. They participate actively in the process of teaching and learning. And this is saying to the teacher if these methods that the person is using are effective or not. This means that they can understand or is or if it is a better idea to search another method of teaching for their students. There are 7 important components of creating and adapting didactic learning materials. Those are needs assessment. It involves a process that looks into what learners know, what can do, and what they need to learn or do. Setting goals and objectives is when the general purposes of a course and the objectives, that is the specific form in which goals will be attained. The conceptualizing content and designing a syllabus. A syllabus aims to communicate to students what is the purpose of the course, what it intends to be, the reasons to teaching it, its destination, and the requirements to pass it. It is never a perfect version considering that the education process is always unchanged. The selecting and developing materials and activities, that is a decision that embraces making an effective and opportunity decisions for the benefit of students. A text, for example, by itself is not the course, but it can be changed and improved. The organization of content and activities. The content and activities could be structured in 3 distinct fashions known as the building, the recycling, and the sequence and matrix approaches. The evaluations that is a process and must be carried out during the ongoing lessons. 2 types of evaluation are formative and summative. The resources and constraints are when teachers out to be resourceful and they adapt to the tangible or intangible givens and lacks of their teaching situation. This means that this process involves the developing materials. The lack of physical resources guides to the teacher to encourage and use available resources to do their class in a creative way. To finish this video, I think that the role of the teacher is to be a facilitator of learning, leading discussions, asking open-ended questions, guiding the process and task, and principally enabling active participation of learners and engagement with ideas. The teacher is the instructor. This instructor imparts information to their students, being a guide to um, make the process of teaching and learning easier to their students and more comfortable, using different methodologies, didactic tools, a better pedagogy, improving the methodology of the class, and other things to make the teaching and learning easier.